question. What is your name and where are you from?
My name is Loius. I'm the president of AGI Construction, and we are based out of Detroit, Michigan.
And how did you originally hear about Sedgewick and Ferweda Architects?
We heard about the architect firm through a designer who was doing some work locally here in Detroit, and we needed somebody that to take the design and put that through the architectural process and give us some actual construction documents, and that's how we got introduced to Sedgewick and Ferweda.
And what services did Sedgewick and Ferweda provide for you?
So they provided a full set of construction documents for us on this particular historic residential project, and those services entailed walking through the project with the owner and with us as a construction company, as the general contractor, to determine what the owner's ideas that he worked out with his designer, what his ideas or what the owner's ideas, how they could be turned into an actual document. And so from there, we've worked through budgetary items. We've designed the scope for each trade, and we're currently hopefully closing this project out this year, or this spring, should I say.
If you have had experience working with other architects, how does Sedgewick and Ferweda compare?
We've been extremely happy with the architect firm, Sedgewick and Ferweda. Like I said, we had a designer who started the project on this particular project, and we had some difficulties getting to a timeline of where we could build. And so with Kurt's experience, he's the architect we dealt with directly, he was able to take our input and the owner's input and really get it on paper. And so because of his experience, this project is heavily green, I would say. So there's a lot of sustainability parts to it. The mechanical equipment, we've got some solar panels there that support the mechanical equipment for the heating of a radiant floor system. We've got some electrical components that the owner was not sure if he wanted to pursue those as far as adding solar panels for the electric. And so there's some things that we did and some things we decided not to do, but I think the biggest piece of it was getting the feedback from Kurt and him walking us and the owner through that process to make those decisions, those final decisions for what we're actually building now.
How would you rate the staff knowledge at Sedgewick and Ferweda Architects?
I think for us it's been great. I think they're excellent at what they do. They travel from Flint, Michigan, which is a good hour, over an hour's drive. So for them to put the time into this project, even though it's residential, and for them to put the time into that drive when we were doing weekly coordination meetings, that's someone that's dedicated to what they do. They cared about the project enough to show up and help us, and they did it within a reasonable budget, and they did it within a reasonable time. So that's probably the most important thing, is just having someone that does what they say they're going to do, and so we're happy about that.
Would you recommend Sedgewick and Ferweda to a friend or family member?
I would, yeah, absolutely. So we are currently looking ourselves as AGI Construction to work with Sedgewick and Ferweda with some future projects. We've got our own little developments that we're trying to establish as a small construction company. And so here in Detroit, we're all about restoring, revitalizing, and we look forward to working with this architecture firm in the future. And yes, we would definitely promote them and tell others to utilize them.